Hi, welcome to our second episode of Asana Academy. I'm Meghan Hargrave, and I thought we'd talk this week about a common sore or pain that many cross trainers have, runners, cyclists, and so forth, IT band syndrome, which is a pain that typically runs from the insertion point of the hamstring at the back of the glute, down the side, the outer portion of the leg, and somewhere into the lateral portion of the knee. Typically, you get pain down the side of the leg, sometimes you get swelling in the knee, pain in the back of the knee, with the tendons and ligaments connected in. The IT band is actually not a tendon or a ligament, but it is made up of similar connective tissue. And like an elastic rubber band, when it gets stretched out all the way, it doesn't have any room to stretch out any further, and then we get rubbing over bone and bony processes and so forth, and that's what causes the friction, the inflammation, and the pain. So today I thought we'd talk about 3 simple stretches that you can do to help ease the tension in that, and then also 2 strength building exercises that will prevent some of that IT band syndrome from creeping back into your practices, especially for those of you that are runners and cyclists. So let's go ahead and start on our backs. And if you take a bend in the knees, plant the soles of the feet onto the mat, hip-width distance apart, and then take the affected leg. So for me, I've just run the Army 10-miler, and my left IT band is really bothering me. So I'm going to take my left ankle, which is my affected leg, and cross it over the right thigh. And then I'm going to take my arms out to cactus arms or a T and roll onto the outer edge of my right foot, stamping the left foot across the body. Notice how the ankle and the thigh stay connected at the same point of origin all the way over. And I'm just going to stamp that left foot into the mat, and then the knee may want to creep towards my face. I'm going to press it away towards the base of the mat. And then just begin to breathe. You'll feel this in the outer portion of the left hip, the outer portion of the left lateral thigh. Just beginning to breathe into this shape. Taking 2 more breaths here, continuing to press the knee away from you towards the base of the mat. 1 more big inhale. Exhale. Your inhale, keep the left ankle connected to the right thigh. Roll everything back into center. This time, roll into the inner edge of that right foot and drop the knees over the opposite direction. You're going to get a big stretch in the outer portion of the opposite thigh. So for the affected thigh, you would want to switch legs. So if your left leg were affected, you want to cross the right ankle over the left thigh, roll into the inner edge of the foot, and begin to drop the legs across the body, and you'll get that big stretch on the outer edge of that left thigh. Breathing in here. 1 more big inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come back into center. Uncross the legs. Take the left leg, the affected leg, and cross it back over the right thigh. Hug the knees into the body, giving yourself a squeeze, and begin to press the left knee away using your mind. We don't want to press on the knee joint itself because we can cause a lack of alignment there. But with the mind, begin to direct that knee towards the base of the mat. You should feel this stretch in the outer portion of the left hip. The left glute muscle, definitely into the IT band. Breathing here, holding each of these stretches, especially if you've just come off the race course, for 2 minutes, 2 full minutes. 1 more big breath here today for our purposes. And as you exhale, release the sole of the foot back down to the mat. You're going to take the legs long on the mat, and then roll over onto your side and come up. So we're going to do some strength building in that bottom leg. So coming onto the side of the body, part of what gets fatigued and causes IT band pain is the portion of the glute medius is not strengthened quite enough to keep up with the tension you're putting on the thigh and the hamstring, the quad and the hamstring. So part of how we can fix that is with just a simple side plank. So you can take this either on your forearm or on your hand. We're going to do some dips here to strengthen that side of the body. So you're just going to begin to lower the hips and lift them up. And lower and lift. Breathing here. For added effort, you could lift the arm to the sky or reach it to the top of the mat, lowering and lifting. And then once you find yourself there, you're going to extend the top of the affected leg, left leg, and begin to breathe. That's really going to get into building the strength in that glute muscle. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Lower everything back down. One last stretch for us today. So you want to take the right foot about halfway up the mat. Not quite like you would for a lunge, but setting up more for a lizard lunge. Hands will plant further down the mat. Curl the back toes under, lift the back knee. You're going to roll into the outer blade of the back foot, and then begin to press into the right foot and drop the hips down. So right hip is stacking on left, right shoulder is stacking on left, and you're stretching into that outer portion of the IT band in the left thigh. A couple of options here. You can move through this, lifting the hips and lowering them back down. Inhaling to lift, building a little strength, and exhaling to lower. Good. One more inhale, build the strength, and exhale, lower back in. So just a few simple ways to both stretch out the IT band after a racing season. For many of us, it may be the end of coming into the end of the summer season and heating up the fall racing season around the country. Those rock and roll half marathons, the Marine Corps marathon coming up, the Army 10 miler in Washington, D.C., and some of the other marathons and half marathons around the country, Chicago and so forth. So making sure to both stretch that IT band out as well as to strengthen the glute muscles back there. And with that, thank you for tuning in for episode 2 of Asana Academy. Hope to see you next week, same time, same place on the mat. I'm Meghan Hargrave. Namaste.